This is Between Hook Sets. I'm Jason Walter from In Through the Outdoors with my partner in slime, Kurt Underhill from the Fishing Crew.
What is up, dude?
Oh, not much. Buddy of mine said, don't you get sick of setting the hook every Wednesday night? I'm like, no, it's the only time I actually get to set a hook. And if I'm not...
Maybe that's why you struggle catching fish, because your arms wore out.
Well, that could be. It was a busy day today. I was up here.
You climbed all the way to the top?
No, we had some issues a couple of weeks ago, and the engineers on the phone, they're like, can you, Uncle Lou, how do you do? The guys, can you go out and take some pictures and see if you can see what's wrong? And I'm like, yeah, I can see the one thing up there with the one thing and the wire touching the thing. And they're like, what? So anyway, I saw that today while I was grabbing photos, and I'm like, I'm going to throw that up there and see if I make anybody dizzy or get somebody to faint looking straight up.
I kind of was looking through the media assets before we started the show, and I'm like, what's this picture of this tower? I can't wait to hear the story.
Okay. So you
from Reid,
you had an idea. Yeah. Excited about Reid being on the show, by the way. He luckily is filling in at the last minute, and that, it happens. And we're so grateful that people are willing to do it. Just a big slap on the back, pat on the back, I should say, for the Full brothers, all three of them. Riley and Braden and of course Brock. So Notham, those young guys, they are absolutely fantastic. Lake Area Walleye Club had their championship last weekend at Brown's Hunting Lodge, and it was a ton of fun. What was that? Hang on, this just coming in from headquarters. We've got a caterpillar alert. Is that caterpillar sighting? Is that? I'm like, asked Beau tonight. I said, is that a caterpillar on your old man's lip? He answered back, yeah, haha. I'm like, oh, well, he was scruffy. Well, those peanut butter bologna sandwiches aren't too bad if you're really hungry. Dan, it's true. I mean, even if you're hungry, they're fantastic. But yeah, Chad was pretty scruffy the weekend of the AFCO. Right? And I'm like, what you got going on there? What you doing, dude? So obviously he's got to
start No Shave November in August.
Right. Yeah, right. I can't do that. I shaved today because I just can't handle that scruff. It's too much. But anyway, the excitement for tonight here, one of the young guns in the North Dakota walleye world, this kid is, I should say young man, I shouldn't say kid, but when you're 40 years older than someone, it's really easy to just call him a kid, right?
Yeah, I'm at the point where, I was called a kid into my 30s by my dad's friend. So now I'm like 41. I'm like, am I calling these guys kids now too? So I always still feel like I'm the kid in the group, but
here's the deal. I do too. Here's the funny thing. You go to the casino, and to get into the casino and I look around, I'm like, my God, look at all the old people in here. I'm like, do they not have jobs? What is the deal? And I'm like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And I come and I sit down. I'm like, okay, I just saw myself in a mirror. I'm one of these freaking old people. I am in a room of old people with old people. I'm the old people. Yeah, it drives me nuts. It really does. But, at this point, I'm still young at heart. Like I just saw another meme from of Sophie Cunningham, and like, I wonder if she's got a 60-year-old sister. She's what, 30? So it's not going to happen, right? But I'll tell you what, Sophie Cunningham, I don't know. I guess I saw her sticking her tongue out, that one, and so I clicked on it because I'm like, well, what's going on? Well, then all of a sudden, every time I turn Facebook on, now they think I should watch a Sophie Cunningham meme or something like that, and I'm stuck to it. But anyway, our guest tonight, Reid Nelson. You know what, Reid, how you doing?
Good, happy to be here. That's for sure.
Fantastic. So Reid was telling me, Kurt, before you joined us, that he's on Ashtabula up in North Dakota, and there's a Wednesday nighter going on, and he came in early to be on the show. So I felt a little bad, and then he said the bite was not so good. So frankly, I'm just a little bit selfish and glad he's joined us tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, thanks for taking time out of your Wednesday nighter to join us, and let's hear a little bit about you, Reid. Where are you from? What do you know? How old are you, and how'd you get into fishing?
Yeah, I'm from Valley City, just south of the lake behind me right here, about 10 miles. I'm 19 years old. I graduated last year with Jayden. He graduated with me in Valley City High School. Yeah, kind of got into fishing at a young age with my grandpa. I mean, my dad, he really never fished a lot, so it was kind of all fishing with my grandpa and fishing for catfish down at the river where he grew up. He grew up actually in Pollock, South Dakota, and then moved up to Hankinson. So kind of got my love of fishing, catfishing in Hankinson on the Wild Rice River there. That's kind of where I found my love for fishing, was down there with him.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I didn't think there would be a Pollock connection. I did go to Valley City, so I'm understanding the Pizza Corner pizza thing. The recipe changed on that a little bit, didn't it? So I hear that Valley City folks are just a little cranky because it's not the original recipe.
Yeah, for their frozen pizza, I think they switched the recipe. And when Beau was up here once, we took him to Pizza Corner, and he liked it, but he said it was hyped up a little too much. But I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pizza's pizza, but when you live in Valley City, there's a thing about Pizza Corner, and then when you find it in your freezer or your grocer's freezer, wow, this it's a big huge deal. So okay, so you mentioned Beau. You fish with Jayden, because I think the first time I ever heard your name, Jayden was talking about you, and then Beau's talked a ton about you. So I really want to know your thoughts on being able to fish with Beau Schilling and Jayden Wendel.
Yeah, it's a big difference fishing with both of them. I mean, they come from both sides of the walleye world, really. I mean, one grew up fishing this lake right here, and the other one grew up fishing 60 feet down in trees. And this lake, all you fish out here is like 10, 15 foot weeds. So it's a big difference for sure. I mean, it's fun to fish with both of them. That's for sure.
I think that's the amazing part of it. You've got two guys that are just absolutely, they're just solid hammers, and one is doing it deep, one's doing it shallow, and it's fishing completely different.
Yeah, I think that's the reason their team is so good right now, and they're the hottest in the game, really. I mean, they come from both sides, and they can bounce ideas back and forth, and it works out so well for them. It's cool to watch.
It does.
I found it impressive, when we talked to Beau and Jayden over the times we've had them on, and Beau's, they talk like one, but then when you get down to specific tactics, it's like, no, I fish shallow, he fishes deep, and I'm like, what? Like, I would have never guessed that, like watching them and sitting back from afar. And I've known Beau for a long time and just met Jayden through actually Chasen discovered him up in North Dakota last year and was like, Jayden. And I'm like, who the heck is Jayden? And it was kind of eye-opening this year for us on the National Walleye Trail, and watching that kid grow. And you could kind of fish partners with him, and you partnered with Beau this last weekend.
Yep.
So did you go out to Wyoming with them?
Nope, didn't go out to that one.
Okay. So you grow up fishing with your grandpa. When did you really start getting into walleye fishing?
We took a lot of trips to Canada when I was probably 8-9 years old. I think that was first time I really got into walleye fishing. He got my first rod for me. I think it was an ugly stick, and it was some thick braid on there. I think, and we were pulling spinners in some trees, so it needed some thick stuff. But I remember casting at pike with just daredevils this big and getting like 25+ inch walleye up in the weeds in like July, and just thinking that was the craziest thing ever. You can catch walleye doing that. So I always asked to go for pike fishing just to try to get another one of them walleye up shallow there. That's kind of my thing.
I love that. So where in Canada did you fish?
Grand Rapids, I think is what it was called. Way up north.
Okay.
The north end of Lake Winnipeg, I think it was.
Okay. All right. I was kind of curious if you'd been to Flin Flon or up at the Paws or way up there. But Winnipeg is something. Lake Winnipeg's something else. That whole system. It's kind of an ocean.
Yeah.
On its own. It's
I've
amazing.
ice fished it a few times in like March, but that's a big lake.
Yeah, it is. It's huge. So let's see, Minnesota Tournament Trail. You won this one, right? Did you win the season, or did you win one of the one of their derbies?
Just that event there.
That event,
just the Big Stone event. Yep.
Yeah. So tell us who's in the picture here with you.
That's my dad there with me, actually.
Okay.
Yep.
So your dad, who doesn't fish much, you drag him to be your tournament partner.
Yeah. Drag him around sometimes.
That's kind of like Brett and Wendel too, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hey, whatever it takes to get your kid. Well, here's the thing: you want to spend time with your kid, fish with them. I guess that's no whether you're a tournament fisherman or not. I mean, what the heck, right?
So growing, fortunately I grew up with a dad that loved fishing, and half the reason I'm in what I do is because of my dad's love for fishing. And I was direct opposite. My grandpa, we go up to the lake cabin, and I'd fish sunnies off the dock. He'd give me a can of corn, and I'd go catch sunnies off the dock. And I don't know if I ever fished with my grandpa other than him coming down to watch us, right? And my dad was a passionate one about it, and it's kind of spilt over. So I like to hear the stories too where grandpa got him out, right? Like it's somebody's got to get you out and get you passionate about it. And you've taken your passion a lot further, obviously, than your grandpa did. And obviously now you're tournament fishing. How did you get into this tournament stuff? And
I think my first tournament I ever did was with my grandpa again, which is pretty cool, down Lake Elsie. And I think it wasn't like a walleye tournament or anything, but it was just a point system kind of. I mean, crappie would be a so-and-so points, and then there was like a fish of the night, whatever, and it was a championship down there. And I think we ended up taking 7th out of, I don't even know how many teams, probably 40. And this was a little while back, but I remember he liked to troll a little bit. And when I was young, that a little boring for someone who's young in the boat. So I always wanted to go up and pitch little jigs into trees with plastics. And I remember one time it was the championship when we got 7th. And I think we were trolling a little bit, and I'm like, hey, let's go try this little creek channel back in here. Like, it looks pretty good. So we go in there, and I think we caught like 2 or 3 just real nice bass that put us in the 7th. So that was pretty neat. And it was a real tight creek channel. And I remember him going in there, and then we had to turn around, and bottom of the motor scraped a little bit. So he wasn't too happy about that one, but we got 7th, and he had a smile on his face in the picture. So that's all that matters. Well,
yeah, you know what? You're right. And think about you at a young age like that. He knew that you had a fishing brain, right? Yep. That you had the feel for fishing, and I'm sure he's pretty excited about that, because you always want your kids to have what it takes. Yep. And I'm seeing more and more and more. You can love fishing, you can want to fish, you can fish a lot, but if you just don't have what it takes, Beau, congrats, by the way, on the weekend. If you don't have what it takes, it makes it a lot harder.
Yep.
So 19 years old, obviously, what are you running for a boat? What's your setup now?
Older Larson, actually. That's what I have for a boat now. It's like a 2014 or 2015, I think it is. Next year is going to be the upgrade year for the boat.
So are you running the fiberglass Larson?
Yep.
That one they came out with, the fishing version of the Larson?
Yep.
Yeah.
He said an older boat. I thought he was going to say a 14-foot aluminum Sea King.
Jason, our day, that was something. We got it. Okay, we're
green bean.
What's the green bean story?
Oh no, you can ask Beau, Hunter. Yeah, the boat's really bright green, and I think they both love that. Beau was saying he just loves how it sticks out.
I wish I'd have found a picture of it, but I didn't see one, so we'll have to go digging for one. That's so lime green. Jeez, so it's kind of like a Corey Heiser colored boat, then, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So get into fishing, start fishing tournaments. Fish Minnesota. Did you fish all the Minnesota tournament trail or just the Big Stone event?
Big Stone, St. Louis River, and Lake Superior. Me and Jayden did that one, and then Lake Winnie event.
Okay.
So three total, I think, 3 or 4.
Got so rate Big Stone on a scale of 1 to 5 for walleye.
Probably a 4. It's a fun lake. For me, it's a 4 anyways. I could see a lot of people saying 0. I mean, I could see a lot of people not liking it at all because it's a weird lake. You'll never see another lake like it. It's pretty shallow lake. The middle is only like 16, 17 feet. But weeds, no matter what time of year, is what I've heard, come up to the surface in the middle or like halfway up. It's weird.
So it is a weird and different lake. It is frustrating for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Big Stone, right? I mean, I was reading a comment before I posted it here, but my dad swore he hated big stone so bad that I swear to God, if I ever run a tournament on big stone, a walleye tournament on big stone, he might strike. That might be the end of the fishing crew because the lightning will strike that day.
Yeah.
He spent an entire month fishing tournaments on big stone and never caught a walleye.
Yeah, for sure. It can be tough out there, especially. And people are saying like in June, July, like when it gets really hot, the weeds kind of die out and start floating pretty bad. And that could be a mess. Yeah. But when I was there, all the weeds were, I mean, they were good. The best kind of what you wanted to find was like 12 foot of water, and the weeds come up to like probably 8 feet. So it's kind of like that. That's what I was looking for down there.
So you go win that one, and then this last weekend you were on. Where were you at for the AIM Championship? And you and Beau teamed up for that.
Sakakawea, Partial Bay. That's where that one was out of, back-to-back days.
So was it the championship, or was it just
championships in September 12th, I think. So this was just the last qualifying event.
So
it was 2 separate tournaments though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you won both days?
Yep, both days.
Okay, so let's go through that a little bit. You know, did you like say, Beau, let's go fish this? Like how did you and Beau team? I mean, obviously buddies with Jayden Wendel, so you became buddies with Beau. But how did deciding to fish this tournament go about?
Well, we fished the first time I ever met Beau was the first AIM event up in Newtown, up in the river up there. That was the first one we ever fished together, and we took third in one. So we were kind of all talking. We're like, might as well just do them all and try to get into the national, you know, coming up next year. So we're like, yeah, let's just fish the other ones. And he was busy for the second event. So this last week was the third and fourth event. So we're like, yeah, let's do that one. That'll be fun. So yeah, we go up to that one, and we both pre-fished for that one, and he kind of stuck out deep to what he was good at, and I kind of had some shallower stuff going. So pretty cool to split up and have 2 guys that are really good at 2 different things break down a lake. That's always fun.
I love it when 19-year-olds talk like 35 or 39-year-olds, right? Breaking down a lake, doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you guys have this stuff dialed in. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we got a couple comments here. I want to put this one up. This
oh God. Yeah, I'm clueless on that one. You guys must think that one's pretty good though.
Oh, Mr. Hand.
Who's the goalie?
Right. Oh, well, you have to go watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and then you'll go. Okay.
Listeners, it says Chad Miller Fishing says Reid won't have any clue on this, but does Beau remind you of Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High? We got to get a poll on that for the older generation.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get a couple comments out of the way. Chad Johnson, remember when GPS and all the fish finders were rolled up into one unit? Called
Grandpa. I love that.
I miss my grandpa Kenny
Granum.
Granum and best fisherman ever.
Oh, that is, you know, I love this.
Back to that one. Guy must be bad to the bone.
Bad to the bone. I love all this conversation about Grandpa, because Grandpa used to take us fishing. And I remember the first time Grandpa said, we're going fishing tomorrow, so be ready to get up at 3:00 in the morning. Okay, great. Well, I was a kid. I was just happy. But like, where are we going fishing? Ashtabula. Grandpa's swearing. It's like, no, Ashtabula is the lake we're going to. And he said, and then the next time you come, we're going to Abbey Dam. And I'm like, Grandpa's swearing again. I'm like, no, there's actually an Abbey Dam and an Ashtabula. So anyway, I saw Grandpa was swearing when he was talking about those 2 places to go fishing. But it's fun to hear stories about Grandpa.
Yeah. And another funny story I got about him actually is that Big Stone event. He actually pre-fished with me and my dad for a little bit the couple days before, and I rolled into a spot I knew kind of had fish, and there's a few boats around me. I just wanted to see if they would, because that lake's really clear. So I just kind of wanted to, I took one cast to see if they would bite in the middle of the day, just to see if that spot was going. And I first cast rolled in there was like a 3-pack, and I casted that one, caught it right away. And he doesn't really understand tournaments too much, and there's a few boats around. So first thing he did, he made sure to grab the net for that one.
That's good.
Dad had to tell him in the back, we'll just grab this one over the side. It was like a 27, 28, so that was nice.
Ooh, good fish too.
Yep.
Good fish. Okay, explain this real quick. Did you fly somewhere to go fishing? You got your own airplane or what's the scoop here?
That's the guy on the way last. We stayed at his hangar up there. So he's from Valley City. So my uncle who I fish, he knows him pretty well. So that was pretty neat. And if you notice, my plaque's upside down in that one. So
let me see.
Could be good luck.
So Montana Governor's Cup, you guys go out and tear it up. What place did you end up in the Montana Governor's Cup?
I got 7th in that one.
7th, and then so 1st to 7th, 1st to 1st. What other wins you got on the season so far at 19 years old?
Out here, 2nd place. I fished one in Duluth and Lake Superior with Jayden's in 2nd place in that one, and we had all 5 of our fish were over 30 inches, and we still got 2nd.
Wow.
And that place is crazy there.
Is this one of the fish from that? No, never mind. I thought I had a bigger one.
Yeah, that was a small one from that place.
Yeah, okay. I thought I picked one that looked quite a bit bigger, but I guess I ended up grabbing the wrong one. And this, of course, is a picture from just this past weekend.
Yep.
So let's talk about this past weekend a little bit. So you're more of a Jayden guy, fishing shallow. I mean, you and Jayden probably fish a lot together on a normal basis. So you fish kind of the same light jigs, light tackle, shallow water stuff, and then you team up with Beau, and he's a deep water guy. What was the game plan going into tournament day one?
Yeah, first day we were going to Beau's spot for sure. I mean, we both got really good fish in practice, but his spot provided a little more than bigger fish and consistent bite of them 27s, which was good. And he kind of showed me what he was doing out there a few days before the tournament in practice. So I kind of got a good understanding of what he was fishing and try to help him out for them deep stuff and learn a little bit. So I got a few spots too that we had out deep with him. So yeah, first spot we rolled up to, they were biting really good actually. From the time we put the trolling motor down to like 9:30, I think we had 34 pounds already, which was pretty good. And and then we still had 35 pound or 34 pounds at like 1:30. So that's when we were starting to worry a little bit that we need a good kicker. But yeah, they bit really good till 9:30, and then kind of everything died off. We bounced around for a few more deep spots, and right in the last 2 hours, we stumbled upon a really good pot of them, and there were some big ones, and we got a 30-incher there and a 28.5 and a 26 3/4, I think. And that's what put us to 43 pounds that first day.
So explain. I haven't followed the AIM stuff for a long time. I'm sorry, AIM. So it's a catch photo release tournament.
Yep.
But how many fish are you scoring for the day? Is it as many as you catch and then you take
a card they has you can put 20 fish on them, and I think they give you 3 cards. So you could submit 60 fish if you really wanted to, but I think that first day we only had 7 on our card, 7 on the card, I think it was.
So, and it's your best. How many fish are they taking?
5.
Your best 5. So you got as many fish and keep scoring them, and then they pick your best 5 out of your scoring pattern to take you for the win.
Yep.
Okay, and you said you were out of partial. So you were fishing the arm then?
We ran Berthold Point, I think what it is.
Oh, really?
15-mile run we did. So
yeah, okay. So you didn't do Shelf Island and Independence and stuff like that up in the arm?
Tried it a little in pre-fish.
Okay. But nothing. I know for us old guys, Shelf's it's great for trolling. Independence great for trolling, that kind of thing. So okay.
I'm not very familiar with Chicago. It's been a long time since I've been there. Now, where you fish, is that going to play into the championship that's coming up for the NWT, or is that? I guess I know there's a boundary. I know it's small, but I don't know anything.
Yep. No, they won't be allowed to go up there. They have the same boundary as the North Dakota Gov Cup, so it's just the way east part of the lake by the dam and kind of Douglas Bay and just around there. So pretty small boundary for sure, but
yeah. So, I know people that's kind of been the talk is how tight the boundary is, for the NWT never having boundaries before, to boundaring, putting a boundary on pretty much every event this year. And going up there, and guys have been talking, it's going to fish a little small going into that championship.
Yeah.
I mean, but the North Dakota Governor's Cup with 250 boats fishes the same body of water that 40 are going to fish.
Yeah. Yeah. That one got pretty tight. There's a lot of boats that fish that one. That's for sure.
Yeah. So you get out there, you go out to Beau's deep spot. You guys are, what are we doing? Jig wrapping, jigs and plastic, jig and
plastic. I think it was a 1/2 ounce jig we were both throwing, and 4.5 inch white mooch minnow was the ticket pretty much. And the ticket really was just casting as many fish as possible and just getting the ones that would just choke it down the throat. I mean, about every one of them would chase it just hot on it the entire time, but there'd just be one that would just grab it.
So Sakakawea is doing, I don't want to say they're doing the same thing as Oahe, because things are a little sticky, icky down here. There's no doubt about it. You were using the red line jig, weren't you? The VMC.
Yep.
Yeah. I tried to find some of those. I don't have them. I really want to try them because I think I like the keeper on it for keeping crawlers up tight.
Yeah. And we noticed something. It was me, Beau, and Jayden fishing. We were all fishing a lake together in Beau's boat, and the algae was really bad. And Beau was using 3/16 ounce red line, so it was pure tungsten, and Jayden was just using the VMC Moon Eye jig, tungsten as well. And the red line definitely showed up a lot better when the algae was bad. So that's something to keep in consideration for sure.
Makes sense. And they're not painted either, are they?
No, they're just gray.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So you get out there, and so day 2, same program, same everything on day 2.
Yep, we were going to the spot that we found the day before, real late in the day, where we seen all them big ones, and we were going in with some good expectations for sure, because the day before they bit really good till 9:30, and if we were kind of just hoping the big fish would stay and they'd be snapping at 9:30, and we got there, and yeah, there just wasn't much going for big ones. I mean, we seen probably one there. And in all pre-fish, Beau was kind of getting them 27s, 26s, and 27s. But once the tournament came around, that size class kind of just left, and we were kind of dealt with 25s and 24s, which is a little tricky. But we had 2 nice kickers both day to jump that up, so that's really nice.
Yeah. So I mean, you didn't fish any shallow presentations? It was pretty much all deep water when it came to tournament day.
Yep, all deep water. Day 2, we rolled into one of my spots I found that was still pretty deep, but a little bit shallower than what Beau was running, just suspended fish like he was finding. And that's day 2 when we got our other kicker. I caught that one. That was another 30-incher, so that was nice to catch that one.
So are you guys both in the front of the boat?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we take turns most of the time. Just if one guy's got one spot, then he would go there if he found it. Just kind of more comfortable with that spot for sure.
So, please tell me you have more than a live scope transducer on your boat, unlike your buddy Jayden?
Yeah, I got a 2D.
Okay. Oh, you got the 2D.
Yep.
All right. And do you still use it?
Yeah, a little bit actually.
Okay.
I was using it out here or out in Sakakawea last week just to find that kind of the bait line, because when we were fishing 60 feet, there'd be a kind of a bait line that'd go down 40. And you kind of wanted to find them just stacked up on 40, and then the fish would be above them. So that's kind of what you were looking for. And Beau was telling me use your 2D to do that, and I'm like, thank God Jaden's not. Well, he was out there, but he couldn't be able to do that. So that was kind of funny.
When he told me that, I just I'm still baffled, and I don't know how many conversations I've had that he does not have a 2D transducer on his boat.
Yeah, it was funny reading the comments on that one, and he fishes the river too and still doesn't have it.
That's insane.
It's amazing. It really is. Honestly, even the down and the side. I was watching a video. I wonder if it wasn't Brent Blumendahl and the way he was using the side imaging to locate fish up there on Sakakawea. And I believe I stood up and clapped because I'm like, oh, thank God somebody's still using this side imaging, side view. And well, I guess he's a Humminbird guy, so side imaging. So it's fun to see that because they all have their place.
Yep.
So are you still running LVS? Are you running Garmin on your boat, I'm guessing?
Yep.
Are you running LVS 34, or did you bite the bullet and buy the new one?
No, 34. I waited for those guys to buy it, and they're still testing them out. So I'll have to get word on that and then see what I want.
So did Beau have it? I know Beau after Gov Cup said he had ordered one. Does he have it on his boat yet?
Yeah, he had the 44 up there, and it was pretty sweet. So definitely have to look into that a little bit.
So let's talk a little bit about that, because the thing out there now is guys are saying the 42 isn't what they were hoping for.
Yeah, and
Beau had I think Beau ordered both of them, and he put the 44 on.
Yep. Yeah. In the videos when they came out with them, that 42 looked like what you wanted. I mean, everything was clear. But yeah, guys are saying they just can't track good bait when fish are moving. They can't track their bait as good.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, right? Being able to see that jig fall and then track. And I heard it quite a bit this weekend at the Lake Area Walleye Club Championship. And I'm not kidding you. I kind of, my stomach started to hurt a little bit, because I will make an opinion off of common sense. So common sense, going from the videos and the description, for those that want to fish below, that aren't going to be out chasing fish 200 feet away, the 42 is the way to go.
Yep.
And not one person had anything good to say about the 42 beyond the fact that, well, I'm going to put it away, go back to the 34 and wait until they come out with the new the software update to take care of the problems.
Yeah, I had a guy ask me this week what my thoughts were on the 42, and I said I've just seen the videos about it, and he goes, yeah, he doesn't like it too much. Can't see fish. A lot of guys are saying they can't see fish past 40 feet too, which kind of need that to see. But
I see that's the interesting thing, because for me, I did a little scoping this weekend, and again, I scared every fish away except for catfish, and it's a thing that something happened last September, and I started scaring every fish away every time. I'm doing something unnatural, I guess. I don't know, but I keep everything at 50 feet or less. That's funny. That's a good one, Kurt. That's got me. That has me laughing. But no, so here's the thing. This is why I want to see the 42, because if it's a clearer view below me, that's great. That's fantastic. Yeah. I really want to see that detail, because I'm not good enough, and I'm on the side of the boat anyway at the steering wheel. So I'm not up front chasing stuff 3, 4, 5 miles an hour. So it doesn't matter to me anyway. But the fact that you can't chase the bait, you can't follow your bait to the fish, that just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And when they first came out, I was kind of like, I watched the videos and I'm like, this is telling me you have to have both of them.
Yeah, right. Yes, you said that. And I'm like, no, the 42. Yeah.
And I keep going back to that, because I guess the picture when you're straight down on the 42 is incredible, but you're not getting any distance. The guys I talked to said you can see stuff below you, but casting out 40, 60 feet, you're not even going to find your jig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. That 40 to 60 feet is a pretty good average for just about everybody, right? Beginners or not.
Yep.
Right. So if you're losing that, okay, wait a minute, Jared. So you saw bait 80 to 90 on your 42. Did you fiddle with the settings, or did you do the factory reset and just leave it? So let us know what you're doing there, because I'm truly curious to know. And then what color are you using?
That's something we haven't even broached the conversation of is are we running 40 or 34 settings when we put the 42 on and they're not working?
Right.
We have to start dialing in settings for the 42.
Well, see, and well, you're not going to know that, right, Reid, because you haven't used the 42. But do we have guys out there? Okay, a lot of fiddling, and you're using blue. Okay, all right. So that makes it you're tweaking then, leaving AVG off, probably Ghost Tree, maybe. I really didn't think about that until we started talking about it now, that you really have to fiddle around and dial that in. I'm learning. What do we still have the 34 collecting dust if you want? Yep. Hello. I might be up for that at this point, because the 42 really is not there isn't a jump, but hopefully when all is said and done, I hope I get a half an hour or maybe an hour in the boat with Beau, and I can see the difference between the 42 and 44, because I really want him to explain it. I really want to understand it, the 42 versus the 44.
Is he running 42 still on his boat, Reid?
No, just the 44 he had on.
He just has the 44. Yep. He didn't get the 42.
No, just the 44 he had on when we were fishing, and the 34. Okay.
Well, and that makes, at this point, that makes sense when you're out there wanting to win. I guess I wouldn't be fiddling with that 42 at this point. But the one thing that I've learned with the 32, for those that are still using the 32, whether you're at Sakakawea or Oahe, the best and smartest thing to do, and this comes from the Garmin guy, is to reset the sonar defaults and then don't touch anything, and you will have the best picture. I found that out on my ice unit with the 32. Leave it alone. Okay, haven't had a chance to run the. I want to see them back to back so bad, side by side.
One thing I did find out from the Garmin guys is they run off a different frequency, so your 34 will not throw interference in it. So if you're running a 34, you can run the 44, the 42 with it. But I think it's going to take some time, right? It's like anything new that comes out. You know, the 60, 62, all these guys thought they had to have it, and they realized, well, that doesn't really do anything that well. But I mean, Garmin invented the game. I do want to ask you, Reid, do you run a live scope on the back of your boat on the transom like Beau does?
No, he's been telling me to get it though. And in the first AIM event, we were using that a little bit, and that's pretty sweet. I know for a fact I'll get it on the next boat I get for sure. That's pretty cool there, what he's got going.
So, so for people that are watching that don't understand, they're mounting one in the forward position on the back of their boat on their transom, and they're using it when they're driving and finding fish. So go through what you experienced in that first AIM event with that for never using it.
You would really think once you hit the motor a little bit and get some speed, your picture wouldn't look as good. But when we were going, 5-10 mile an hour, and the picture was still showing up really good. So yeah, he kind of has it angled. I don't know how he does it. Someone would have to ask him, but he's got to have it at an angle, because when he's going 5 mile an hour, his boat's going to be angled a little bit back. So it's got to be like this. But when it's on the trailer, it's aimed down a little bit. That's kind of how I understood it. But yeah,
makes sense.
For that first AIM, we were fishing just suspended fish, and 23 inches are your good fish for the first event on AIM there. So yeah, we did a little bit of that middle of the day when things got slow, just trying to find another pot of them. So yeah, and once he sees one, he really puts it in reverse fast and runs up there. It was pretty cool to watch.
He doesn't have the brakes now with the remote to stop it.
Yeah, no.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a different experience. I got to fish with a gentleman that had it on his boat, and we had it in down, and we were pulling for salmon, and it just straight down mode. We're driving with, and he had down for salmon, and we watched the salmon come in, turn around, follow our bait, and he goes, that rod's going to go off. And it followed us for 30 to 45 seconds before that rod went off, and the rod went off.
Yeah,
it was pretty impressive to be able to watch that on your downriggers with that fish come in and hit it. And then we had, we fished last weekend, me and my wife and some of our friends fished a couples tournament, and talking to another one of our fishermen that he was pulling cranks, and he spun his backwards and was shooting, and he could see 3 of his 4 lines.
Yeah.
Always
watching the crankbaits, and he could dial them in right to the top of the trees. And he's got on a troll, he's got one on the pole, so he must put the back one on the pole backwards and just watch the crankbaits, and he could set them right to the top of the trees as he was going.
Yep. And I think the 44 could be really good for that, having it on transom mount just for the longer range. So I think a lot of guys are going to do that too. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I never thought about that, because I do that all the time. I'm always running forward backwards because I want to watch the bouncer. You learn a ton about bouncers when you're live scoping, and you find out you're dragging it either on the bottom or doing something other than stupid, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of learning there to see how long a walleye will follow that crawler and that spinner, and then either just instantly give up on it, or chow down.
Yeah.
So being a young gun, a young guy, you pretty much, this has been since you've been really old enough to start making real decisions on your own. Live scope has been the game.
Yep.
So, I mean, when did you start live scoping?
2 years ago, I think, or really? 2 or 3 years ago, I think. And this is my first year I have had it on a trolling motor, which is kind of crazy. Last year I had it on the pole up front, and I was catching them pretty good still. But yeah, first event I ever did with it on the trolling motor was Big Stone. So that was pretty cool.
So then your first experience is with the 34 then, not even the 32.
32 I had, yep.
You did have a 32,
yep.
Okay. So you got to experience the
was.
difference.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
And we fished, me and Jayden fished a little, it was out of Medina, just a little 20 boat going a few different lakes. And I remember I was looking at a few videos, and we actually had a Lowrance on the trolling motor, and we were still using the pole just because that's what we were comfortable with. So that's kind of funny how the game has changed now, that you need pretty much for competitive fishing, you kind of need it on the trolling motor just to get some good speed, and we were using it on the pole. So that's kind of funny.
So let's talk about that. You see a lot of guys that have, on the pole, and, I run a pole on my pontoon because I don't have anything on my trolling motor. I sit in my driver's helmet, I run that. But people think, the more I'm doing it, and I don't fish as much as you guys, you fish more in this probably 2 weeks than I fish all year, Reid. But there's so much to live scoping, and I think the number one thing I'm really starting to dial in on is boat control is probably more prevalent than anything else when it comes to this game.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. And that's a lot easier on a trolling motor too, with going faster anyways, and kind of scanning fish down. I mean, if it's windy and you have it on a pole and you're trying to chase fish down, it gets pretty tough out there. But
I mean, I've even, fished with a buddy of mine that I fished with quite a bit. And, we have on the trolling motor, and we have a pole up front, both. And, we'll spot lock and trying to find that you cast, and then you're sitting there trying to find it with your pole, or, it just, you can't spot lock. You have to stay on the trolling motor and learn how you creep on these fish or hold on these fish. So, I mean, I'm terrible at it. I've tried in a couple people's boats over the last few weeks of fishing with them. They're like, hey, you just run it for a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, get back up here. I'm sitting in my pontoon, run a remote guy. Like I'm not on the foot pedal, and I'm learning better on the foot pedal to figure out how to hold that boat control. But that is such a key to when we play with this live scope.
Yep.
And the pole, you're such, I was fortunate enough to have Tom Wynn come down and train the fire department on it. And, last year in April, and I brought up to him, like, we were on their fireboat and they have it on a pole. And I said, don't you think, in Tom's, obviously an avid on your trolling motor guy.
Yep.
And the reason is you got more scanning range. You can control stuff better when you're fishing. You don't have your hand on a pole and trying to cast, and, you're freer. And I said to him, well, don't you think for the fire department it's better on a pole? And he goes, absolutely not. You're losing so much range. You're losing so much. And they're not out fishing. They're out on rescue missions, right?
Yeah.
If they can put it on their trolling motor and learn to drive that trolling motor, like, that's going to be their best bet. So the poles are great for scanning, for finding whatever. But if you're a new guy getting into the live scope game, put it on your trolling motor, learn how to run it.
Yeah, for sure. Because I remember when Jayden made the jump over 2 years ago, I mean, we were all kind of like, well, is this even going to work? Like, we were both pole scoping, and then, he said right away, it was just a game changer. And he would say that to any new guy too. If you're kind of just leaning one end towards the other, definitely put it on the trolling motor and just take a week to not be that good, and then just learn it pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, is just learning boat control. And I mean, for a young guy like you, that's only been probably fishing in your own boat for less than 5 years.
Yep.
Right. You're so much. And I think that's, we hear so many people blame that it's the live scope. It's, all these young kids are tearing it up and the old guys are going away. I think, like I said, it's live scope. I'm not going to say it's not, but I think you guys have just been forced to do boat control better than anybody else because you're on your trolling motor all day, every day. You're not heading north and pulling bottom bouncers, right?
Yep.
You're not worried about that game. You're out there casting at every single fish.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, so you didn't really ever play around with 2D. I mean, I go back to the days. I mean, I remember my dad I remember the Lowrance green box, the paper graphs. I mean, I remember all those things when I was a youngster, and then I remember when global maps came out, and then when the first color Lowrance came out, we thought we were nothing's going to get better than this,
Yeah, right when I kind of started fishing, I guess, with out here especially, and just kind of getting more and more into it was when LiveScope came out. So I mean, it was right away, it clicked for me, and then ever since then, just learning so much about it. And that's the most fun part, is just learning. You learn something every day you go out and use LiveScope, and that's what I love most about it.
Yeah, you do. Every time you go out, you do, even if it's a little thing, right? I mean, just little. And so I had somebody ask me last week, or maybe it's a couple weeks ago, so would you ever fish like you used to? You know what? I will never fish without my Garmin. I don't care if it's on the ice. I don't care if I'm fishing off of rocks, a dock, or in a boat. The Garmin's with me. Yeah,
fishing's definitely changed, and I don't think I could go back to it with how everything's going now, for sure.
Yeah, like to see that movement, right? You like to see, even in a couple of years ago when I was using it off the rocks, the riprap. Yes, I've got a special setup for using it on docks and rocks. So the big thing was being able to spot my crank. Right, I'm out there casting, and it's like it took me forever to find the crankbait. It was because you have no idea how fast you're really bringing that thing in until you watch it on Garmin and you see it, and all of a sudden it's coming up. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
It's nuts. It teaches you, I think, doesn't it teach you to slow down a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Right away. It teaches you to slow down and go faster at the same time with different things. I mean, right. Boat control and just speed of your boat definitely going faster. That's one thing with LiveScope, but yeah, how subtle bites can be. That's for sure another thing with LiveScope, how much slower you got to get to it too, and how much faster with jigging bait too. Yeah, just a big learning thing.
Spatial awareness, I think, is really key too, because I remember when I first started fiddling around, and I've got the pole by my wheel, and I'm running the trolling motor with a remote, and I see a tree that has fish on it. And I know that it's over here to the right, so I make my turn and I look away and I lose the tree, and then I make a mark and I think I've got it, and I still can't find the tree.
Yep.
So it blows my mind how you guys can, and obviously you figured out how to stay on stuff at 5, 6, 7 miles an hour.
Yep.
Yeah, it just changes. I mean, we're learning what fish do, right? Like, I hate when the Bassmaster guys, it must be crop dusting out behind you there.
Yeah, so someone's flying by.
I hate when the bass guys always say, "Oh, we're catching fish we've never caught before," and I'm like, that's the biggest false statement ever. Them fish have been caught before. We're catching fish in spots we've never caught them before, but we're not catching fish we've never caught before.
Yeah, funny story on that actually. Fort Peck, it was second day of the tournament. I'm going over some points. That's kind of what you fish out there. And in between 2 points, there's this kind of ravines and creek channels, and it was like 80 foot. And there was a fish 5 foot down. I'm like, this is one's gonna bite for sure. If it's not a pike, it's kind of hard to tell. It was at a weird angle. Just cast it at it kind of later in the day. Jig up to it, looked like a walleye bit. Let it eat it because I was throwing a crawler that day, and let it eat it good. Set the hook good. Everything felt good. Reeling it in, got to the boat, kind of starts flopping around at the side of the boat. We have the net ready. Comes off.
No.
Yep, comes off. Didn't snap my line though. And then bait hooks, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Look to my left, same fish, because you can see it going down. Went down to 60 feet, I think it was, and then it starts coming back up. And I wait for her to get to 5 foot, cast back it, instantly bites again. 31 incher.
Really?
Yep.
How about 34 incher?
31.
31. Okay.
Yep.
So that thing was suspended at 5 feet.
Yep.
It hit. You fought with it. It had a tussle.
Yep.
It went down, and so you didn't throw to it then before it came back up to 5 feet. So it didn't sense anything in the water.
Yep. I was waiting for it to come up.
Wow.
Yeah, and that happens quite often. You lose one, you have it on for a second or 2 seconds or halfway up. You can cast right back at it and catch them again.
I'll be dang.
It happens a lot more than people think. It's kind of crazy to think about. No one would ever know that before LiveScope, which is cool.
Well, you just think of how many hours we've spent fishing dead water.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. So much dead water. It's ridiculous. Think about it now. Here. Think about all the guys who spend time, on wrong fish. You're in trees and all you're doing you're casting at a bunch of catfish, right?
Yep.
You're chasing the wrong fish, and we spend hours doing it. It's amazing. And so that's the one thing I guess we have to learn, because guys like you, Beau, Hank Asher's the same way. They know they're looking at a walleye, where, a guy like me, I'm just looking at a fish moving, but I'm fishing the 32 and I'm fishing the original Humminbird live. So it's a grain of rice. I'm looking for movement.
Yep.
So yeah, that's interesting. Really interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just, and the main thing is spending hours behind it, right? The more, and the more you learn, right? I mean, Jayden, Beau, they spend hundreds of hours a year behind that graph.
Yep.
And I'm sure you're no different. Anytime you can get beyond the lake, you're on the lake.
Yep. And I think one of the biggest thing is just a tip for someone is just to fish lakes you've never went to before. And just that's right. Like one of the best ways to learn, I think. Fish a lake you've never been to, break it down. And the smaller lakes are better, a little easier to break down for someone new getting into it, and just kind of break it down and see what's what. And try to pick through what's a walleye and what's not, and catch a few pike and catch a few wrong things before you get your walleye. And that's the best way to learn, I think.
So once you dial that in from lake to lake, let's say we're talking Astrabula, let's say we're fishing the Arm, right? We're fishing Shelf Island. Maybe we're going to Devil's Lake. Maybe we're coming down here to Wahi. Maybe we're going over to Ponset or Thompson or something of that nature. So you're fishing these lakes that you don't know. Do you once you get it dialed in and find the walleye, do you see likenesses? Do you see patterns in, this point was about the same as it was up in Sakakawea as it might be in Astrabula, or are you then looking for those spots on a map?
Yeah, it's spots too, and it's how to get fish to bite. You look at Sakakawea and you see 300 fish in an hour and one will bite, and you go, what did I do different to catch that one? Then you come out to here, which these fish love to bite. And I mean, right now it's a little tough, but usually in July and August it's about a 90% catch rate. Now that it's tough, I was thinking today, well, why aren't these fish biting? And I was just trying some stuff we did in Sakakawea and just some weird stuff. And I think that's what I think of more than spots, is just if I go to a lake and they're kind of chasing it weird, and then I notice them chasing it again weird on a different lake, I always think, well, what did I do to catch them out on that lake that I can transfer over to this lake? And I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Really. I know, like for me, and I'm going to ask this because I'm sure others are experiencing it. You've got your mark here, right? And you're dropping down and you're dropping down and you're here, and they just now they're kind of playing with each other, and then all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah.
And so that it seems like for me it's happening almost every time I drop a bait down in front of a fish. And do you see that where you're, or am I on top of wrong fish when that happens? That's not a walleye. It's something other than a walleye that's just disappearing right away.
That's definitely could be a walleye for sure. Cause out
smaller
here,
one.
Yep. And out here, these fish kind of all migrate south when it gets deepest waters. The southern part of the lake, it's like 45 foot, and these fish kind of all migrate down because that's where all the bait goes. And over the past couple of years that Live Scope's been out, I mean, this is a pretty hot lake. I mean, a lot of people come out to catch these big suspended walleye out here. And now why it's tough is I think because they know what a jig and a crawler looks like now. And once they see one, they do not like that, and they'll spook.
Sure.
Yeah, and today when I caught one, I kind of noticed the same thing. They were just kind of chasing it like a Sakakawea fish. I mean, just slow. I mean, however fast you wanted to get up on it, they would chase it that hard. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to throw just a bull bait. So just something just big and just a big plastic and a big jig. So I huck that out, snap it over its head, and it eats it instantly. And yeah, before the podcast, I had a 26-incher out here, which is pretty nice fish for out here.
So are you keeping your bait above these fish every time?
Yeah, about every time. No matter what I fish, I bring a bait above them. So
do you find if you pass them a little bit and bring it back up, do you find that it's game's over, you're done, you need to move on, or can you entice that bite?
No, I can. It kind of depends, but if just kind of depends how they set up after you pass over them. I mean, if they come back up, then you got a good chance, but if they scurry off, then then you can kind of imagine they're about done. But yeah, usually when I'm fishing any bait, jig and crawler especially, I always bring it above their head and just kind of let them chase it up. And if I don't like something or they don't like something, I drop it down and fish them out of the dirt. But usually I'm a guy that learned how to fish them up, so that's my go-to. I fish them up out every time.
Okay. So what do you use for a pole and a reel?
Use a TDI rod, 7.6, medium light.
Okay.
And then a Daiwa reel, Scheel's Daiwa.
And are you running an all might on your stuff?
No, not yet. Should be. I mean, he got me into that. I was kind of asking him about it, but yeah, I just run Berkeley forward. Keep everything light. I'm usually from weeds and kind of having a light drag, so I keep everything light. I think I got 8-pound fluoro. I usually run in 12-pound braid.
So keep it, yeah. And that's the crazy thing is you and Jayden style, the Beau style is light, small presentations. Chucking a 1/2-ounce jig on Chicagoia was probably awkward for you at first.
Yeah, and I look at his leader and he's got 20-pound leader and they're like that thick, and I'm used to something real thin. So yeah, it's definitely a good learning curve. I learned a lot fishing those 2 days with them, that's for sure.
Yeah. And
I don't think before that I ever threw a jig over 1/4 ounce until I met him, and he's throwing 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounces, some big jigs.
But it makes sense though, because you're fishing. You grew up fishing a shallow lake, right? Beyond the 40, even 45 feet, I guess. I'll bet you didn't fish 45 feet that often, right?
No, hardly ever.
So I mean that's brings me to a question. Like, do you think it helps to fish outside your comfort zone by going out with Beau and throwing 1/2 and 3/4 ounce jigs? From what you're used to, you're completely fishing outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, for sure. And you learn so much. It's just, you unlock a whole new game in fishing. So, I mean, those 2 days and fishing with them and knowing them before, I just unlocked something I never even knew before if I would have never known them. So that's something that's just free information fishing with them that can help me one day. So that's nice for sure.
And I think that, people are, so stuck in, I pulled bottom bouncers on this flat for 25 years and caught the fish.
Yeah.
Right.
And they blame live scope because they're not catching the fish they used to catch. But I guarantee if they go back in their history and look at it, for 25 years before live scope came out, they didn't catch fish every time they're on that flat.
Yeah, right. But
it's an easy cop out. We need to go start fishing stuff different than we're used to, right? Yep. Get outside your comfort zone. Just because they were on that flat 15 years ago on Tuesday at 4:00 on October 7th doesn't mean they're going to be there that same time. That you got to fish stuff different. I think, one time I got to fish with Bob Prop Sr. We fished the face of the dam and just drilled a whole bunch of overs in 2 nights. I mean, I had to yell at Bob. We had to throw him back because he wanted to keep every single one of them. But I'm like, I've tried it several times since then, same date, same everything, and never been able to recreate it.
No.
Everything lined up that day, right? Everything lined up at that time for them fish to be there. And I think that's so much of where we get the problem is we think, oh, I'm going to go to this spot. I got this milk run and I'm going to go do this milk run. And if they're not there, I'm extremely blaming everything else rather than, hey, me, I think pre-Gov Cup this year, fishing Lake Oahe, we're so programmed to go deep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And talking to guys that were practicing and guys that were on the water before, they're catching them in 5 to 7 foot of water the week of the Gov Cup.
Yep.
They were last weekend too.
The fish change. They change their for something with a brain the size of your pinky finger, the end of your pinky. They're predators. Their whole instinct is to survive.
Yep.
And they figure it out.
Yep. Yeah, it gets these young guys' brains just going because they just want to learn so bad. We all want to learn how to do it and do it better every day. So that's always fun.
Yeah. So you made a comment. Are you gonna travel with them boys next year for the NWT? Is that your plan?
Hopefully, yep. That's
nice.
Kind of my plan. Yep.
Nice. So, we're getting to that hour mark, and we've had a lot of fun with Jan and learned a lot.
Ton of fun.
Anybody that does our fantasy, we just got our text to remind us that.
Is that what that is?
I literally was thinking yesterday, saying, "Hey, when's fantasy bass going to start back up? It's been so long." So don't forget to put your picks in if you're in our fantasy bass league. That's we got 2 left, I think, Jason.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is number 9.
Yep. And so you know, I liked Eric's text earlier today. Even if you stunk it up all year, you still got a chance to win one or two, you know, so make sure you get your picks in. But one thing we like to do on the show is the Mount Rushmore. I want your 4 people that you could spend one day in a boat with. It could be past, present, somebody that's not with us anymore, or somebody you look up to and say, I want to fish one day with these 4 people.
Yeah. Probably, let me think here. That's a tough question for sure.
It is. It's a hard one. You can't answer it right away. It's very hard.
Probably Isaac Lockage for sure right away.
Okay.
That's my number one. I mean, cool guy for sure. Want to fish with him. Got to think some other guys here that I know. Probably want to fish with my grandpa one more, keep fishing with him. So that'd be another one to, you know, get out there and, let's see some other guys here. Probably Dewey. He's good. I would want to fish some trees with him and kind of learn what he does different from Beau. So that'd be a fun one for sure. Let's see one other guy here. Probably Bill Shimoda. I'd love to learn how to fish a river.
There you go.
There you go. Good at, and I want to fish a river.
Do you want to go hand lining? Have you?
Wow.
Seen some videos of that.
Oh, we used to hand line when I was a kid down in Fort Thompson. It was pretty fun to do.
Yep.
So I was always the boat driver. I was told to keep it between these 2 letters and don't move. And my dad would sit back there with a leather welding glove and just pull on the lines. And we would catch so many fish in the fast water doing it. And I watch these guys down here below the dam spin and do all their craziness in the boat. And I'm like, put some hand lines on. Just get some hand lines and go.
Yeah, Jayden found he was live scoping on the river in the Big Muddy this year. So he found something out there. And yeah, he was kind of on that river. He liked the river because he just like learning something new that he wasn't good at before. So that was his thing this spring, was learning rivers.
Fishing current.
Live scoping in the current is not an easy game.
Yep. Yeah, he figured it out somehow.
So, well, Reid, we look forward to continuing to watch you grow, and we'll be hearing your name a few more times. And good luck with your adventures, and thanks for taking time out of your Wednesday nighter to jump on with us.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, guys, for having me.
Yeah, thank you. All right, take care. Good luck to you. Thank you much.